Hey everyone! Before we begin today, we want to thank our newest patrons, Megan, Diana, and Amanda. Welcome to the team. And now enjoy this week's episode covering Volume 2, Chapters 1 and 2 of Mansfield Park.
Listeners, separate from this journey through Jane Austen, Molly is also watching Avatar: The Last Airbender for the first time.
Very slowly.
Very slowly. And she's currently like 4 or 5 episodes in. And I'm trying to convince her that if she makes it to the end of the show, it is one of the great pieces of television artistry that exists.
And I'm convinced. I will say,
Yeah.
I'm not unconvinced. I'm not opposed to watching it or anything. It's just one of those things that I watch when the moment strikes.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And
Yeah.
I would say, like, our friends who listen to this pod can disagree with me here, but I would say it picks up around the episode called The Storm. In
Okay.
season 1. I would say that's where it starts to really like become the show that people are obsessed with. But seasons 2 and 3 of the show are just across the board excellent. You will laugh, you will cry, you will ship, you will be obsessed. The world building is very cool, and you are very attached to the characters.
Nice. Well, I can't wait.
Speaking of comfort content, this is Becca.
This is Molly.
We are here to talk about Jane Austen.
We are here specifically to talk about
Mansfield
Park.
Listeners, if you're new here, I, Becca, have read many Jane Austen novels through my lifetime.
And I, Molly, am reading all of her novels for the first time through this podcast.
If you want to hear Molly read through Pride and Prejudice, Sense and Sensibility, Emma, or Persuasion for the first time, you can listen to seasons 1, 2, 3, and 4 of this podcast, respectively. But that is not what we're doing here today.
No, today we are talking about Mansfield Park Volume 2.
Oh, yeah, we made it to number 2.
Chapters 1 and 2, or if your book is not volumed, chapters 19 and 20.
Yeah, aka deflating of the tires.
Yeah, it's not like a super awesome way to start out.
It's what we would call anticlimactic, but I think also, and I will defend this, one of the funniest chapters that Jane Austen has ever written.
Oh yeah. No, I've started using little like sticky tabs to mark the funniest quotes because I realized I had these Jane Austen sticky tabs that someone had given me and I wasn't using them for anything. So there are a lot of sticky tabs.
Yeah, lots to get into here. To pick up where we left off, the theater kids are at it. They're doing what theater kids do, rehearsing a play and flirting and dealing with repressed hormones. Fanny is getting roped in at the last minute once again. And just as they're starting to go through their first long run through together, Julia runs in and says, "My father is home."
Dun dun dun.
AKA our guy, Sir Thomas.
What a killjoy. But he comes in with some interesting energy.
Yeah, we're going to get into that. There's lots to unpack there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Should we start?
We should.
All right. So Julia's just run in and everyone freezes. They're freaking out. Everyone except for Rushworth, who is thrilled to the prospect that this man is home because what does he get out of it? A wife. So Julia had momentarily forgotten her jealousy in the hubbub. But when she enters the room, Henry is frozen with his hand holding Mariah's hand on his chest in the moment of the scene, but he does not drop her hand.
And suddenly, the most important thing comes back to her, which is that she's pissed at all of them.
Yes. And so she goes, "Well, I don't have anything to fear in seeing my father." And she turns around and storms out.
Which is true.
Yes, she was not participating in this.
Yeah, I mean, maybe her motivations were not exactly what her father would want, but she certainly saved her own modesty.
Yes, she did. Tom and Edmund are both like, fuck, we should probably go too.
The level of oh shit energy coming from everybody in this scene.
Yeah. It's incredible. It's like their parents came home while they were having a party.
Yeah, it's literally it's dad's home.
It's oh my god, wait. It's you guys, heated rivalry spoilers. Whatever.
Wait, before we go into that, listeners, I don't want to spoil anything, but we're certainly going to have to like cover heated rivalry for you at some point because we are both in a bind.
We can't stop talking about it.
We are obsessed with it.
So if you do not want heated rivalry,
skip ahead.
Yeah, skip ahead. This is for the show. We have not read the books. I plan to. I don't know about Becca.
I probably will at some point.
Yeah. Anyway, spoilers for the show. Skip ahead. This is like when they're at the cottage and they're making out against the window and then Ilya looks up and Shane's dad is standing behind them.
Shot like a horror scene as well.
Yeah.
But, like literally that is the energy coming off the scene. It's like, oh fuck, we're caught.
Yeah.
Doing something tawdry.
Yeah. End of heated rivalry spoilers.
Yep, that's it. That's it.
Yeah. Okay, so they're like, we gotta go too, and Mariah joins them. She's feeling very bold because of the hand on her heart or her hand on his heart that just happened.
Yeah.
She essentially takes this as a declaration of love.
It's been a minute since we've talked about the touching
Mm-hmm.
in Jane Austen,
Yeah.
but this is why doing theater together is a scandale in this way.
Yes.
Like, because what are these characters never doing?
Touching.
And what are they doing in this play?
Touching.
Yeah. So this is like essentially like a little handsy Copperfield.
Yeah, because the play has been paused. You should also let go of her hand.
Yep.
But he did not.
No, he did not, and it's very sexual of him.
It is it's hot. Oh, Henry.
Oh, Henry.
You naughty boy.
Naughty, naughty boy.
So they all go off, and Rushworth is like, "Should I come? Do you guys think I should come? Should I go with you? Probably. Should I?" And they all ignore him.
Yep.
So then Henry's like, "You should probably go." So Rushworth follows them. Meanwhile, Fanny is left behind.
It's Fanny, the Crawfords, and Mr. Yates left, and I gotta tell you, Mr. Yates is an absolute star in these chapters.
Oh, yeah. Hardcore.
Yeah, because he's just like, what's going on? Are we not rehearsing anymore?
Yeah.
And the Crawfords are both like, we should go.
Yeah. So Fanny is like, okay, I'm glad to just be hanging out here.
The Schadenfreude she's feeling in this moment. Well, not the Schadenfreude. That's the wrong word. The cringe.
She is also feeling other people's pain.
I was just describing watching Succession as watching like a really stressful, bad family dinner that you're attending.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this is what Fanny is feeling in this moment.
Yes, absolutely. She's, in fact, more anxious than everybody else is, despite actually being the only one who has no reason to feel anxious because she didn't willingly participate in this. She's like, oh my God, they're all going to be in so much trouble.
She's like an empath, though. She's like, oh no, they're caught.
Yes, exactly. She feels bad for them, and she's especially nervous for Edmund because her sweet baby boy didn't do so good.
He gave into his loins.
Oh. Yeah. So she's sitting there while Yates mostly complains about the interruption to their fun, and along with the Crawfords complain and wish that the trip had taken longer or that he was still in Antigua. And Yates is like, as you said, well, we'll just pick back up later, right? And the Crawfords are like, no, the play is dead. We're going.
It is striking, and we're going to talk about it, how immediate the termination of this play is from the minute we learn that Sir Thomas is home.
And how immediately the Crawfords are like, bye.
We're gone.
Yeah.
Peace.
I mean, I get it. They need to leave the family to have their own drama, but like you guys were kind of involved in this too.
But I mean, yeah, but they'll let them get in trouble. The Crawfords are not going to soil their own names.
I guess. They try to convince Yates to come with them, but he's like, no. I want to pay my respects. That's not necessary. I'm gonna go meet Sir Thomas.
No, I got this.
He says, I'm sure Sir Thomas wants to meet the star of the play.
Exactly.
So Fanny had just been thinking she should probably go see him, Sir Thomas, so that she doesn't seem ungrateful.
Mm-hmm.
And the Crawfords are like, okay, send our apologies for leaving. And then they go. Fanny goes, she gets to the drawing room. She pauses outside, trying to collect her courage. And then she opens the door. And as she enters, she hears Sir Thomas saying, but where is Fanny? Why do I not see my little Fanny?
Record scratch.
Yeah, weird energy. And then he sees her and he greets her like she's another one of his daughters, like giving her kisses and being like, oh my gosh, you look so healthy and so beautiful, and being affectionate, which is not something that he has done with her.
Not at all, no.
And it says that, quote, all that had been awful indignity seemed lost in tenderness. So he's done like a full 180.
Yeah.
He asks about her family, particularly about William, which I had been thinking like, oh my God, he's being too nice to her. Her brother's dead.
No, not at this moment.
Yeah. So I was relieved when he asked about William. And he's being so kind to Fanny that she feels guilty for having been upset about his early return.
This is such a relatable feeling.
Oh, yeah.
Not with my family necessarily, but like when you haven't seen someone in a while and you're kind of dreading it, and then they're so nice to you, you're like, okay, I feel bad.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
She notices that he's grown thin and weathered and he's like sunburned, and she feels miserable when she thinks about how they're about to make him so mad. Because she's like, he's already had such a hard journey and we're about to piss him the fuck off.
He's had to go deal with his plantation in Antigua, which it bears remembering is a slave plantation in Antigua, which is clearly not going to be fun for the poor Sir Thomas. He's really the victim there.
Yeah. Yeah. Also, there was a moment later on in these chapters where it says that he was dealing with the plantation here, but he doesn't also have.
No, there is no
slaves.
plantation
Okay.
here. Slavery is illegal at this point in Britain, I believe.
So when they say plantation, do they just mean his garden?
I think they just mean his like the finances, like the
Oh, I see.
business. side.
Oh, dealing with the plantation.
Yeah.
I see.
But he like goes and like the things to remember here, and I have a lot to say about Sir Thomas's transformation in this chapter, and we'll get to it in the study questions and what it's telling us, and kind of tying it into some British imperialism stuff. But he, on a practical level, has been at sea for a minute, and that is not an easy thing to be,
Right.
even if you're a high class man.
Right.
Like, it is always difficult to be at sea, and he's been gone for a very long time. And so he's been through a fucking ordeal. He comes home to his beautiful children, and what does he find?
Wait, speaking of which, I'm
Yeah.
so sorry because this is a tangent. There is a thing called the world's toughest row, and it's a race where people row across the Atlantic, ending in Antigua, which they've actually been pronouncing Antigua, and I wonder if we've been pronouncing it wrong.
We probably have.
I've been following this one creator in particular. Her name is Taryn, and she is rowing this race alone, and she is in a rowboat, rowing herself across the Atlantic and posting videos every day. Her mom's running her Instagram for her, but she is just posting about her little life rowing across the Atlantic. It's going to take her like 60 days. She's like 2/3 of the way done. Today was day 40. And
What's she eating?
she brought food, like she brought rations, but she's just like keeping such a positive outlook on everything. And I'm finding her videos really inspiring. And today I went back to the beginning.
She's in a rowboat?
Yes.
Across the Atlantic?
Yes.
Does she have any like cover?
She has 2 cabins, one in the front, one in the back. The one.
Oh, so it's not like a rowboat.
Well, it's a boat that is powered by rowing.
She's rowing the whole thing.
She's
but it's
rowing.
not like a canoe-sized boat.
No, it's a larger rowboat, like a race boat. It's a boat built for extended travel.
Okay.
But it's insane. Anyway, so I've been like really
My
interested in her
goodness.
videos.
I'm like losing my mind thinking about this. Like, listen, I love the ocean. I am a slut for the ocean.
Yeah.
We've learned this. I love a seaside tale.
Yeah, but there's no land anywhere.
You could not pay me to be in the middle of it.
Yeah.
in a fucking rowboat.
It's 3,000 miles. It's literally insane. It's so cool though. And like just watching her do it, I feel so inspired. And I'm like, if she can do that by herself, I can handle my little everyday.
I could probably go on the elliptical for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. Or like, oh, I can do hard things too. Like I can send that email. You know, it's just like I'm finding it really inspiring.
Oh my God.
So anyway, that's all to say. And she is rowboating to Antigua. So that's the connection.
Hey Siri, how do you pronounce Antigua?
Okay, I found this on the web for how do you pronounce Antigua.
Ah, shit.
Listeners,
Nobody told us.
no one told us.
How did I have to find this out by watching a girl rowboat across the Atlantic to Antigua?
Oh man, this sucks.
It's all right. It's all right.
Whoops.
You guys, if we're ever pronouncing anything wrong, we're trusting you to tell us.
Yeah, it's all good. Everyone knows what island we're talking about. We're having very intellectual conversations about the meaning of one of these characters having this plantation that's just a human rights atrocity, black stain on everybody in this book. We can pronounce the island correctly. Antigua.
Antigua.
God damn it.
Anywho, where were we
Oh, we were talking about, we're like 2 minutes into this chapter.
I'm sorry because I was walking home from work and I was watching her videos like I was listening to a podcast because I just wanted to hear.
I want to hear that she gets there safe.
Same. And to be clear, Sir Thomas did not rowboat across the ocean.
No,
But
did not.
it did take him a long time and he is weathered and tired from
And
it.
this is just like pre-antibiotics.
Yes.
So like,
there's a lot going on.
yeah, it's too much.
So, okay, right now he's feeling really chatty and like excited to be home. And he starts giving everyone all the details of his business in Antigua, what happened, his travels, how he was lucky enough to be offered passage in a private boat rather than waiting for the packet ship. And he keeps commenting on how lucky he was to find everyone gathered together despite him not announcing his arrival.
What a coincidence.
Wow, what could they possibly have been doing all together?
Oh, man.
Lady Bertram is thrilled that he's home, and she even puts aside her needlework.
And
Pug.
Mr. Wobbles.
Mr. Wobbles. She takes Pug Wobbles, Esquire III, off of her lap and gives all of her attention to her husband.
What an honor.
Yeah. It says, quote, she had no anxieties for anybody to cloud her pleasure. Her own time had been irreproachably spent during his absence. Another situation where she's like, well, I didn't do anything wrong.
Well, she's not even thinking, well, I didn't do anything wrong.
She
She's
thinks
just
nobody
like,
did anything wrong.
She's like, oh, my husband's home.
She's such a
That's
doofus.
it. The rest of them are like, we're hiding a party downstairs.
Yeah. In fact, she would answer as freely for the good conduct and useful pursuits for everybody as she would for her own, because she has no idea what's going on. She's so glad to be with him again that she realizes how much she probably missed him. Mrs. Norris instinctively hid Mr. Rushworth's silk cloak when Sir Thomas arrived. But other than that, she also doesn't think that they were doing anything wrong.
Which is so funny.
Mrs. Norris is ridiculous.
Just hiding the silk pink
She's
cloak.
like, I don't think that that's how you should be meeting him. You're
the
going
rest
to,
of it's fine, but
you're
not,
going to be marrying his daughter soon.
not the fine silks that he was like, oh no, I'm going to have to wear silks. And she's like, you're not in front of him, you're not.
Yeah. She is, however, upset about the manner of his return because it left her nothing to do. She was supposed to be the one to see him first and either tell everyone that he's arrived or that he is dead. And she's been planning this.
I know. She just needs to make herself feel important.
And she's trying to find ways to do so, but nobody needs her right now. She keeps offering him food, but he's like, I'm going to wait for tea.
It's almost like no one ever needs her.
It's almost like she's not important.
Not at all.
He thinks that she is just like, being so caring and having her normal anxiety for everyone's health and well-being. But he's like, I just want tea. So Mrs. Norris is like, okay, Lady Bertram, why don't you call for tea? And then he continues his story until there is a pause. And in the pause, Lady Bertram says, and guess what the young people have been doing to entertain themselves?
Way to blow up their spot, Lady
They're like,
B.
oh my God, what? Why did you start talking, woman?
They were so close to getting away with it, except not really, because we'll get to it, what they did to his fucking room.
You live in a big house. Why did you pick that spot? Is the real question.
Well, it goes to show that Tom has like no impulse control whatsoever. 'Cause
None.
Edmund made a whole big thing about this, and he's like, it's fine. But now that his dad's in front of him, he's like, oh, play. It's just like we're writing scenes. It's
Right.
like we read some stuff aloud.
Yeah.
And you used to have us do that all the time, so it's fine. It's
Fine.
Which tells you he knows that his father would disapprove, which means he knows what he was doing was improper. Somewhere deep in his little tiny brain, he
But it
knows.
made him happy in the moment, and
Yeah.
that's all that mattered.
Exactly. In endless pursuit of short-term pleasure.
Yeah,
Tom Bertram.
exactly. So Sir Thomas is like, oh, have they been acting? And she says, yeah, and they'll tell you all about it. And Tom's like, well, we just talk to you about it tomorrow. And he says, it's been raining nonstop since the beginning of October, and we've been unable to hunt since the 3rd. So we've just been inside. And he starts going on about how good the hunting was and how he's never seen more pheasants in Mansfield Wood and how great is it going to be when it stops raining, you can go out and hunt. which momentarily distracts Mr. Sir Thomas Bertram.
Mr. Sir Thomas Bertram.
Yeah, from the idea of acting. But once tea is served, Sir Thomas is like, well, you know what I want to go do? I want to go look at my room.
And everyone's like, oh, no, not a good idea.
Tom is like, guys, what are we going to do? And Mariah is like, what about our visitors? Where are the Crawfords? And Fanny's like, well, they're gone. And Tom's like, does that mean Yates is alone? He's like, fuck.
Jane Austen, the genius woman you are.
She's so funny.
So good.
So Tom is like, I have to go.
It's like there's a clap of thunder behind him. Alone?
And he runs off and he arrives just as Yates is meeting Sir Thomas.
Picture for a second, you're Sir Thomas. You've been off committing human rights atrocities in the Caribbean. You come back home. You're away for months and months. And like it's hot. You're surrounded by mosquitoes and disease. You're back on the boat. You're seasick. It's very scary crossing the Atlantic. You make it to the other side. You're back in the UK. You take a carriage or a horse. I don't know which one he took. But you make your way back towards your giant estate in the rural parts of England.
You just want to relax.
You see your house. And you walk in, you see your beautiful children, and you walk into your room. And that feeling when you go back from a long trip and you just want to walk into your room, and someone has taken your room and built like a little stage, moved everything around with carpentry. And there is a man you do not recognize loudly performing a monologue by himself.
In a bad accent.
On the stage.
What's even better is that, so he walks first into the billiards room, right? And he's like, where's the table? And where's the bookcase? Because there's a bookcase. I think I figured out the layout here. There's a bookcase that blocks the door into his room.
Yeah.
And they have moved it so they could open up that door and have this be a backstage area so that they can enter onto the stage, which is in the next room.
Yeah.
So he's like, I hear noises coming from the other side of this door.
And Dom's behind him going, no, 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 no.
And he opens the door and he's suddenly on stage, standing across from this loud man.
Just like having a moment doing a play in his personal quarters.
And so Tom comes in the other way and he sees them together and he's like, fuck. Oh, man. So it said that he is having a hard time staying neutral because he's watching Yates transform from the Baron into himself. And he thinks it was such an exhibition, such a piece of true acting, as he would not have lost upon any account. It would be the last, in all probability, the last scene on that stage, but he was sure there could not be a finer. He's like, that's the best Yates has ever done that scene. And then to see him,
oh, I'm Yates. Hi.
Tom can't hold it together. It's too good.
I mean, I think Tom is dying of embarrassment and cringe in this moment. Like,
oh, yeah. But also
he is about to pass away. He is disintegrating into the abyss.
Yeah. So Tom is like, I need to step in here. And he's like, this is Yates, which, by the way, Yates has already done. And Sir Thomas knows of Yates's family and connections and is not thrilled that this is Tom's particular friend.
Particular friend?
Of hundreds of particular friends.
Particular friend?
Oh, are you saying he's gay?
I mean, maybe.
Oh, I see. And it makes it even better that he has hundreds of particular friends because,
like I said, Tom Bertram is in constant pursuit of short-term pleasure without any thought of consequence as possible.
And he's a theater boy.
They're both theater boys.
They're both theater boys.
I mean, without giving anything away, it seems very obvious at this point in the book as well that clearly Yates has some affinity for women.
He does.
But there's a thought to be had that perhaps the two of them, get up to more than just drama in their spare time together. Mm-hmm. But We're speculating here.
Speculating for
Yes,
sure.
indeed. But that being said, it doesn't detract in any regard from what I'm sure is the best look on Sir Thomas's face that anyone can imagine.
Yes. He's like, I'm in my own house.
Who are you?
Why are you more comfortable in my house than I am right now? Is what he's thinking.
Oh, and Yates has no sense of what's happening whatsoever.
No, he's a big dum-dum.
No, yes, he sure is.
Sir Thomas is like trying to remember that he's happy to be home. He's like doing his meditations in his head. He's like, this is my house. I'm not on a boat. But what the fuck? Tom starts to realize perhaps his father has a reason to be upset.
It's now dawning on him. And I will say this, little bit of vindication for our guy Edmund.
Yes. Yeah.
Who is not innocent in this situation, but
No.
certainly tried at
Yes.
the outset to stop this from happening.
Yes. The thing that makes Tom realize this is that his father asks what happened to the pool table. And he's like, oh, right. That's his pool table that we just like shoved to the side. And Yates is like, isn't this awesome? And Sir Thomas is like, yes, it's wonderful. And then they all go back to the drawing room, and there's just a very definite vibe shift from before.
Yeah, the temperature has dropped in the room.
Yeah. He says that he had no idea their acting had taken so serious a turn, and he was really surprised by the theater's vicinity to his own room. But the stage looked sturdy. Good job, Christopher Jackson, my good old pal.
Yep.
And he would have preferred to now sip his coffee in peace and try to forget about the whole thing. But Yates wants to talk more about the theater. So he ends up telling him the whole story of how they were going to do Lovers' Vows at Ecclesford and then couldn't do it. So then they did it here. And Sir Thomas is seething. And so he can do nothing more than nod his
and
head.
his children are melting. Like the Ark of the Covenant opened up and it's like killing them in slow motion.
Yeah. First Lady Bertram and then Yates. And nobody cares that the three of them are dying. The four of them.
Yeah, Fanny is dying even though she has no reason to be.
And Tom and Edmund and Mariah and Julia. So the five of them.
Yeah, although Julia, I mean, like...
Julia's not melting.
Yeah, she is. I mean, she might be, but she is not culpable.
No.
And neither is Fanny.
And yet.
Fanny is an empath.
Fanny's an empath. Tom explains that Yates brought the theater bug with him from Ecclesford, and it's so infectious. And since, Sir Thomas encouraged them to do this sort of things as children, it just felt like they were treading old ground.
Yeah, Tom, knowing his dad is about to murder him in this moment.
He's like, remember when we used to do musicals?
He's like, yeah, that's not a big deal. We figured we were following the things you wanted us to do in this time. And I mean, it's like, can you blame us? It's so fun.
Yeah, it's infectious.
It's infectious. I don't know what that voice is. It's like Tom became Yoda, but I love it.
Infectious it is.
Infectious it is.
So Yates continues to tell Sir Thomas everything about the play, which is a bad idea.
Oh my God, yeah. And like imagine sitting with your friends in high school, your friend's dad, who's the strictest dad of all the bunch, and you're sitting there and describing the plot.
You're like, and then we did Molly.
Yeah, it's like... I was gonna be like, and describing the plot of Spring Awakening or like Hair, like we said, like, and then they get naked on the stage and do a bunch of LSD.
Yeah, and you're expecting him to be like, cool, what?
And instead, he's just like, you were gonna do that by my house, like
You're gonna
my house,
do that in my room,
my rooms. Like,
he tells him all about the difficulties they've overcome in the casting process and all of that. And he's so unaware that he doesn't see how everyone else is squirming. And he also doesn't see the look on the man's face to whom he is speaking. Because he's like slowly becoming like tomato red.
King. Yates being a completely obtuse king.
He's so obtuse. Meanwhile, Sir Thomas is looking at his daughters and Edmund, particularly Edmund, with like daggers coming out of his eyes, with a look of reproof, which means blame or disapproval. And Edmund feels these daggers in his heart. And Fanny, who is an empath, feels it too, because she could never, ever have expected Sir Thomas to, or anyone to ever look at Edmund like that, because Edmund is perfect in her eyes. And she wants to yell, no, 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 look at everyone else like that, but never look at sweet Edmund like that.
Fanny, calm down.
She's really going off the deep end here. Yates says that they were actually just rehearsing when Thomas arrived. And, you know, since the Crawfords left, they can't continue tonight, but tomorrow he can watch.
And he's like, yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, sure, buddy. Yates is like, we bespeak your indulgence, which I looked up, and it means they're asking for his indulgence in advance. And I realized that bespeak, meaning like order or ask in advance, is the present tense of bespoke, which means custom ordered. It blew my mind. Big day for me in etymology. Okay, so they ask for his indulgence in advance, and Sir Thomas says, you can have my indulgence, but without any other rehearsal.
R.I.P. Lover's Vows.
R.I.P. Lover's Vows. He then asks about the Crawfords, and Tom is the only person who can really answer impartially, being the only person who isn't in love with one of them.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, you know, Mr. Crawford is very gentlemanly, and his sister is an elegant and lively girl. And Rushworth goes, wait. Don't forget to mention that he's only 5'8".
Yeah, very important.
Or else Sir Thomas is going to expect a handsome man. And Sir Thomas looks at him with such surprise. He's like, what the fuck?
Excuse me?
Like, but Rushworth continues to say, in his opinion, it's disagreeable to always be rehearsing. You know, too much of a good thing. I prefer sitting around and doing nothing. And Sir Thomas likes that.
He's like, thank God.
He says, finally, someone who shares my feelings on domestic tranquility. He knows that he shouldn't be expecting a genius in Rushworth, but at least he likes to sit on the couch.
At least he doesn't like theater.
At least he's not a fan of theater, which, like, Rushworth was famously a fan of theater, but he caught on enough to know not to say that in front of.
No, I don't even think that's it. I think it's just so funny. I mean, it's possible he thinks that. The other possibility, he's just like pissed, annoyed by how much the theater has taken up time.
I think that he's been annoyed also about Mariah doing theater with. So, I don't actually think he was intuitive enough to realize that Sir Thomas didn't like this.
Not clear.
Not clear, but I think, especially because he said too much of a good thing.
Yeah.
But he mostly didn't like rehearsing this play with these people.
He was getting bored of it.
Yeah. He already learned his 42 lines, you know?
Yeah.
He didn't, though. He couldn't remember them. But anyway, Rushworth is so thrilled to have Sir Thomas's approval that he's going to do his best to hold on to it for as long as possible. We'll see how long that lasts. Which brings us to chapter 2.
Or chapter 20.
The next morning, Edmund wants to get his father alone and defend his part in this whole acting scheme.
Do a bit of damage control.
Yeah, an attempt. But
you have to understand, I was just horny on Maine.
You have to understand, father. There was a pretty girl with pretty boobs.
She got pretty boobs. Very pretty boobs, Crawford.
He's planning on, in a soberer moment, acknowledging with perfect ingenuousness, which means showing innocent or childlike simplicity and candidness, that his concession had been attended with such partial good as to make his judgment in it very doubtful. I believe this means, listen, I know I was wrong, but it was worth it because look at all the good that came out of it. We got to keep the circle small. I think that's what he's saying here.
Well, I think that it's actually the opposite. Concession has been attended with such partial good as to make his judgment in it very doubtful.
I think on first read, it seems like it's saying the opposite of what I said, but I tried so many times to read this in so many different ways. And what I think they're saying is such partial good, as in like impartial or partial. So like I'm partial to this. So he's saying, listen, there was such partial good. Partial. This is what I do. This is why it takes me 3 years to read a single book, you guys. So favoring one side in a dispute above the other, biased, could also be partial. So I think what he's saying is there was such good on the side of me joining the cast as to make his judgment in it, meaning to make your judgment, Sir
Yes,
Thomas,
I see. You're definitely
doubtful.
right. You're right. Definitely right. I think he's basically saying like, listen, I wasn't perfect here, but I was doing my best.
Yeah, like I was trying.
And then maybe I didn't do the best job here, but there were reasons I was doing it.
Yes.
Basically.
And so listeners, if you think that we are reading that statement wrong, because I feel like there are a lot of words there that mean one thing and another thing, and it's hard to know which.
Because he makes it very clear here, the only person who really doesn't deserve blame is Fanny.
Yes. And he says that he doesn't want to speak ill of anyone in vindicating himself, but particularly he wants to make sure that Sir Thomas knows that Fanny is completely free of blame, which gave him points in my book.
I think this is important that Edmund is taking some blame for this
Mm-hmm.
and like talking about the fact that he had his other motives here, because he says we are all more or less to blame,
Yes.
excepting Fanny.
Yes.
Making it clear that he is one of the people who has some blame in the matter.
Yes. Okay, so yeah, he's definitely both apologizing and saying that he knows that this was bad, and he's defending himself a little bit because there were motives that he thinks were righteous.
I think actually I was right in the first part, the partial good part, because the partial good,
Mm-hmm.
his motives are the partial good. It's
Yeah.
like it's only partial.
Yeah. Yes.
Which makes my judgment doubtful.
Yes.
I think we got it.
He's defending himself as far as he can, but he's also saying
She was really pretty, Dad.
she was really pretty, but my judgment was doubtful because the good that came of it was only halfway.
Exactly.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right. I think we landed on something really good.
I'm so proud of us, y'all. So, that's gonna have to be trimmed the fuck down.
How long do you think we talked about that? Like 4 minutes?
I don't know. It's gonna be a long chunk of time. So like maybe we just say fast forward, guys. We figured it out. Edmund is acknowledging that he is to blame.
Yeah. Do you guys like listening to us pick sentences apart word for word?
Yeah.
Tell me, because I'll keep doing it. I will.
Yeah.
So anyway, okay. But Fanny, not to blame. Sir Thomas is really upset, but he just wants to forget this ever happened. He wants to get rid of all the evidence and just move on. He's not even going to tell off the other children. He thinks that ending the play is punishment enough for them. He's not even going to tell them what they did was wrong.
What do you think about that?
I think that Sir Thomas is a weenie.
Say more.
Okay, so you know how in Pride and Prejudice, I was standing Mr. Bennet really hard and everyone was like, hey, wait, he's a neglectful father. You need to get over that.
Yeah.
I think that Sir Thomas he like gives the appearance of being a caring father sometimes. And I'm not saying that he should be reprimanding his children, but if he's trying to bring them up in a certain way and they do something wrong, his way of getting past it is just to like brush it under the rug and hope that nobody ever talks about it again, instead of like explaining to them why he was upset and why what they did was wrong. They're never going to learn from that.
Yeah.
It's really bad parenting in my opinion.
Very bad parenting.
And it's selfish.
Living by a very strict moral code and not taking the time to explain to your children why it is important to live by that strict moral code and not taking the time to actually parent your children, not great.
No, and they're just going to continue to act out because they're rules with no reasoning behind them.
Yeah, and the only one of them who feels any sort of guilt about the whole thing is Edmund. The rest of them are just kind of like, fuck, we lost.
Yeah.
We lost out.
Yeah, like, oh no, the play's not happening. We're so bummed.
We knew that was going to happen when Dad came home.
Right.
Damn.
Yeah.
Which like goes to what we're talking about when Sir Thomas initially left for Antigua. His daughters were like, Dad's gone. Thank God.
It's time to party.
Exactly.
Yeah. And they knew that the partying would only last as long as he was gone. And so as soon as he goes again, which he will, they'll continue to party. So, yeah, I was annoyed at him for that. However, it makes for very funny goings on.
Burning every copy of Lover's Vows he can find.
Going around the house being like, where are they?
Just like he's like doing a one-man strike of the theater set.
He literally he takes the stage down. I mean, he has people to it.
He has servants do it, but
but
yeah.
He's overseeing everything, and he's like, "Thank God we got rid of the stage. We took the paintings down. We sent the painter home. He ruined the floor. He ruined the sponges, but at least he's gone, and we don't have any more sets to put up." Before he goes through all of that, though, He wants to talk to Mrs. Norris.
And who is getting the reprimand here?
Well, he wants to reprimand Mrs. Norris because he really thought that but first of all, he kind of put her in charge. Like, he knew his wife wasn't going to do shit. So he was like, Mrs. Norris will take care of the kids while I'm gone.
Like I said, outsourcing all wife, mother, and lady of the house duties to Mrs. Norris instead of Lady Bertram, who cannot be fussed.
Yes. And
cannot be bothered.
apparently, neither can Mrs. Norris because she didn't stop them from doing this. And he thinks that she knew better and she didn't know better.
It's almost like her compass is broken.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it is. So she's like mostly embarrassed because she didn't see how improper it was before
Yeah.
he had said any of this. And so she just wants to change the subject and get out of getting in trouble. So she goes on about how, oh, but like, look how much I did do for the family. I made the introduction between Lady Bertram and Mrs. Rushworth and basically made that alliance happen.
I found Mariah this total snack of a man with-
Snack!
with a perfect town home in London town. Like, he's like wealthy and has multiple properties.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
She takes full credit for that relationship. And he starts to say, well, you know, I know how much influence you have with the kids. And so I'm surprised that you didn't use it to stop the play. But she cuts him off in the middle of that sentence and starts telling him about how bad the roads were on the day they went to go see Southerton, like her and Mrs. Bertram, Lady Bertram, and how she had to try so hard to convince the coachman not to come, but he came anyway, and how she was so worried about the horses. She was so worried she walked up the hill to Southerton, like, oh my gosh, to help the animals. And Sir Thomas is like, well, you know, I do like Rushworth. I'm glad he agrees with me about preferring a quiet evening to a play, which she doesn't catch on to. She's like, oh yeah, and he's you know, he's not the smartest, but he's got thousands of good qualities, like how much he looks up to you, Sir Thomas.
Almost like you're his father already. And a lot of those thousands of good qualities are in a bank somewhere.
Yeah, he's got thousands of good qualities and they're all dollar bills.
It's like that line from Parent Trap. Then I realized there's about a million reasons that girl is giggling. All of them sitting in the Napa Valley County Bank.
Wow, that was impressive.
I love that movie.
It's a great movie.
It's a crazy movie, but I love it.
It's perfect. At this point, Sir Thomas gives up. And he has a busy day of getting back into the swing of everything around the house and dealing with his plantations and burning everything.
Yes, his busy day of hiding his children's transgressions and committing moral atrocities.
Yeah. And putting the pool table back.
Very busy.
Important stuff. Yates is super bummed to once again not be able to perform Lover's Vows.
Rug pulled out of him from under him once again.
Foiled again!
Oh no, poor Yates. Yates.
And if it weren't for the fact that he cared about Tom and Tom's sister, Julia,
specifically his second sister,
he would have attacked Sir Thomas and tried to convince him to let them do the play.
And he's ready to do it, but then he sees Sir Thomas and he's like,
he chickens out.
This motherfucker is so scary.
Yeah, I like to picture, so they're like out shooting when Tom tells him they're not doing the play. And he's like, no way. Like, I'm going to talk to him. Don't worry. I got this, bro. And Tom is like, I don't think you got this. And Yates is like, no, I got this. And they get back and Sir Thomas is there like burning shit. And he's like,
what?
Yeah. So he thinks that Sir Thomas is the most unintelligibly moral and infamously tyrannical father he's ever met.
I mean,
he's not wrong.
Not wrong.
He's actually right. And he thinks he's not to be endured, but for his children's sake. So lucky him that Yates is in love with Julia.
Thank God I want to flirt with your daughter. Otherwise, I would be out of your house already.
Like, what does he think that Sir Thomas wants him around?
Yes, apparently.
He really thinks he's the shit.
I love him.
He's funny.
This is a perfect set of chapters for Yates.
He's really funny.
King behavior. No shame.
You know what? You should see your own worth and you should think that about yourself.
No sense of your own surroundings. Completely decimating the personal life of your best friend and the girl you're courting.
Yeah.
Like, Just like
It's awesome.
yeah, it's so good. All in the pursuit of like the theater.
Yeah. I mean, he has his priorities.
Oh, man after my own heart.
So, externally at dinner, everything seems very pleasant, but there's turmoil beneath the surface.
It's tense.
Mariah is particularly stressed because now would be Henry Crawford's moment. Rushworth has gone to Sotherton to tell them the good news that Sir Thomas has returned, and Henry needs to declare his love now.
She's like, well, my father's back. I'm ready.
Yeah.
It's time. Now that we've established that this other man is in love with me, I can leave my fiance that my father already approved of
Mhm.
for this other man.
Yeah, so then Rushworth will never have to come back.
Yeah, and I can just marry the love of my life. And I don't want to like shit on Mariah too hard because it is giving a bit Mary and Ashwood in this very moment.
I guess.
Like he's shown all the signs he loves me.
Yeah, it is. That is essentially what has happened here. It's a very Willoughby situation where, like,
Yeah.
well, I didn't think that you thought I was serious.
And he's like, ooh. Well, we'll get to it.
Yes, we'll get to it. She's waiting for an éclaircissement or an enlightening explanation of something, typically someone's conduct that has been hitherto inexplicable. But for the first time in weeks, the Crawfords don't come.
Did not respond to her text right away.
No, it's been 24 hours and they still haven't come, and she's freaking out.
She basically sent a risky text and she is getting no response.
It's on red.
It's not even on red. This guy has his read receipts turned off. So like there's plausible deniability, but like he usually responds right away.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And
he posted to Instagram.
Yeah. When he finally comes the next day, she's sitting by him. And first she watches the love of her life meet her father, which is nerve-wracking for her. But
And not the man she's currently engaged
not
to.
again, not her fiance.
No, definitely the other guy she's been hanging out with.
She's sitting by him and she hears him ask Tom if there's any chance of the play getting renewed. Because if there is, he will 100% return to Mansfield at a moment's notice.
But otherwise,
he's going to Bath.
He is off to Bath.
He's going to go see his uncle immediately. And Tom says that he's sorry to see him go, but definitely the play is not happening.
R.I.P. to the play.
R.I.P. End of story. He says it's early in the season for Bath, and Henry's like, well, this is when my uncle usually goes, and I'm going to be getting as far as Banbury today. And then they start talking about stables, and Mariah's over here like, he's going to Bath. He's leaving today. He's not coming back because the play isn't going on again. So what? Like, she's freaking out, but she's trying to compose herself. And when he finally does turn to Mariah, he repeats everything he just told Tom, but he puts more emotion into it, which I'm starting to believe is not real emotion. And what she gets from him, despite him being like, oh, I'm so sorry, blah, 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 what she gets is he's leaving by choice. He's staying away by choice. And other than seeing his uncle, all of his plans are self-imposed. Like, he's chosen this.
Yep, he could stay.
Yeah.
His sister's staying.
I was going to ask that because I was like, did she just not say goodbye?
Nope. Mary Crawford lives with Mrs. Grant. And if you recall from the very beginning of the book, she's going there to stay like long term.
Right.
Henry was just visiting her and was like, ooh, girls to flirt with. I'll stick around a couple months.
Right. Yes.
But no, like Henry doesn't live there. Mary does.
I forgot.
So it's just Henry.
It's just Henry, and he's just leaving. And
he has a bed in this home nearby.
Yep.
And a very willing participant in this flirtation.
Mm-hmm.
So what's stopping him? Except who he is as a person.
His nature, yeah. The quote that I liked is, he might talk of necessity, but she knew his independence. The hand which had so pressed hers to his heart, the hand and the heart were alike motionless and passive now. And then he leaves, and he is gone. Rip.
R.I.P.
Julia is glad that he's gone. Since Mariah didn't end up with him and he's gone, she's like, nice. Don't have to get revenge. She's sad enough.
She didn't lose out to him to her sister.
They both lost out to him.
Left.
Yeah. Fanny is also glad that he's gone. She thinks it's a blessing.
Fanny's given a huge phew.
Yeah. She's like, they've been acting weird.
She's like, I can't be dealing with this level of impropriety in my day-to-day life.
Yeah, he's really been shaking things up. No, everyone else is sad about it. It even says that Edmund has too partial a regard for Henry, which I think is weird because, like, do they get along?
They get along.
Weird. I don't know why. I didn't clock that.
Like I said, we have confirmed so far 2 people who have noticed what Henry Crawford is doing with the 2 Bertram sisters,
Mm.
particularly with Mariah. And that is Fanny and
Mary
Mary.
Crawford.
Edmund is stupid.
Big dumb boys.
Big dumb boy. He has not clocked this.
It's only women who ever get it.
Do you remember, like, I think it was Fanny was like, do you think he's like a too flirty with Mariah? And he's like, Fanny, you don't understand women. He has a thing for Julia, so he's flirting with Mariah, obviously.
You're telling Fanny she doesn't understand women when she was able to do a whole flirty scene with your girl?
When she is, in fact, a woman.
Oh, and also she's a woman. Okay, so Mrs. Norris is feeling like maybe she shouldn't have been encouraging the romance between Julia and Henry since it went nowhere, but she like never realized that there was a romance happening between Henry and Mariah.
Because she is what?
Dumb.
Dumb.
Yeah. Okay. Soon Yates leaves too, and Sir Thomas is thrilled by this. He had been totally indifferent to Henry Crawford leaving, but when Yates left, he walks him to the door. He's like, bye-bye, have a nice trip.
Goodbye forever. Leave my home.
Bye, buddy, I hope you find your dad. And also, like, he's one of the last remnants of Lover's Vows.
He's burning the last manuscript of Lover's Vows in
Yeah.
this moment.
Yeah. The only thing left is the curtain. And Mrs. Norris is like, you know what? I could really use some green baize.
She's not going to be wasting anything she can.
No. So she takes that home with her, and that's the end of that chapter.
Which brings us to the patron study questions. Listeners, again, if you want to ask questions that we could answer on the air, you can join our Patreon at the $15 tier. Molly posts a Google Doc. You submit questions. Those questions are asked on the air. All right. First question is from Maria. Were Mariah's wishes of Henry Crawford proposing ever realistic?
So I've been thinking a lot about this, particularly as I was editing our last episode and then going into reading this set of chapters, because I was listening to myself talking about Henry and Mariah, and I was like, I don't think she's being Delulu because he's like flirting with her and like,
Yeah.
and I don't think she was being Delulu based on what he was giving her, but at the same time, I do not think that he ever gave her enough to go on that like they were gonna get married. Like looking back on it from the beginning, he's told us who he is. We knew who he was from the beginning, that he was a horrible flirt, you know?
A horrible flirt.
A horrible
And
flirt.
a naughty boy. So on the What the Fuck Mariah tracker,
Yeah.
that's where you're living?
Well, like I don't want to put the blame on Mariah, you know?
I mean, I'm of 2 minds on the whole thing. I think that what we know about courting in the Jane Austen world, it's not crazy for her to think this. Like I said, Marianne doesn't hear the exact precise words "we are engaged" from Willoughby, but his conduct makes her think that there's something between them. There is conduct from Henry Crawford here that would make Mariah think there is something between them.
Right.
Unquestionably. However, she is, and let's say it once more,
Engaged.
engaged.
So the thing is that like he's said, I guess he didn't say it to her. He said it to, I don't remember who he said it to.
Mary.
He said it to Mary. It's fine. I can flirt. She's engaged.
Well, the thing is, it's not easy to break off an engagement if you're a woman.
Right.
Like, you're promised to another man.
Yeah.
So this was always a reckless bad plan for her.
Mm-hmm.
But she's, for all of her flaws, and they are abundant, in love in this moment.
Yes.
And that is very clear from seeing how she feels Henry should be speaking to her father. It's very presumptuous. It's overreading the signals, but the signals are there. She's just forsaken all propriety and risked her own reputation for the chance on a guy who is doing only just enough
Yeah.
to make her feel that way. So it's I don't want to blame Mariah because, like, listen, she's young. Like, we've all overread the signals from a man before, and it's particularly worse when the man is trying for his own sport, if that's what we think Henry's doing here,
Yeah.
to like make you feel that way.
I think he is, just because like so early on I don't remember if he said it exactly, but we talked about how he thinks she's safe to flirt with because she's engaged, and it's just friendly banter, and like he doesn't have to worry about it being misconstrued because she's already engaged.
Again, it's not easy to break off an engagement as a woman.
Right. It's impossible.
It's hard to do it as a man in this time. Look at
Yeah.
Edward Ferrars.
Exactly. It's a time when, I mean, I don't even know if divorce was a thing, but it was not legal, right? Am I making that up?
Divorce is legal in this time period, but not common.
Yeah.
Especially in like the higher classes. It is a rare occurrence, and because that's what separates the Anglicans from the Catholics in the Reformation, because Henry VIII wanted a divorce.
Right. Right.
But it's not easy to get a divorce, and it's definitely bad for your reputation to get a divorce, and it is not something that was happening to most people.
Right.
That being said, breaking off an engagement is easier than that.
Yeah.
Still not easy though.
Right.
Again, Edward Ferrars met the love of his life and was like having a meltdown over it because he was betrothed to another woman and did not want to ruin her reputation. He could have, but he would have been a scoundrel.
Right. And that would have also ruined his reputation, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like it's not easy
Right.
for her to have broken this engagement.
Yeah.
And I mean, in some ways it's easier for a woman to do it than a man because a man has a woman's reputation to worry about, but a woman has a reputation to worry about.
Yeah. So like what I'm saying is he assumed that she wouldn't go through that trouble, and so thought that she was safe to like fun flirt with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, there's just a little like tinge of you want what you can't have.
Yeah.
But if it becomes too real.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Avi says, what do you make of Sir Thomas's sudden change of heart regarding Fanny? How do you think his time in Antigua has influenced that change?
Huh. Interesting. There are a bunch of different ways that this question could go. My first thought is that he went to Antigua. We've talked about potentially to quell some discordance amongst enslaved people working in his plantation. And I wonder if he misses how obedient Fanny has always been.
Ugh.
It's a terrible thing to think about. And I don't like that that's the first thing that I thought of.
Well, I think we have to live in the discomfort of the truth of what funds Mansfield Park, and that's
Yeah.
part of the story.
Yeah, like he owns people, and they do what he tells them to do, and I don't know that he went there because they weren't doing what he's telling them to, but that's a definite possibility that we've talked about. And so I wonder if he misses being listened to and worshipped and idolized. You know, not that she idolizes him, but she's afraid of him and she does what he tells her.
Yeah.
So I think he might miss that, but he also I don't know, maybe something else happened that made him miss having a younger kid around. I mean, she's not a kid, but you know.
I have two thoughts on this. As a practical matter, it seems pretty obvious that he's been through an ordeal, like a very harsh one. Jury's out on whether or not that might be a deserved harshness. But that being said, from his perspective, he's coming home after a long time away, dealing with things that feel foreign and terrible and potentially scary. And to be home and the familiarity of home includes Fanny.
Yeah.
So there's a certain like, oh, Annie M, there's no place like home to the whole thing.
Yeah. But why Fanny?
Well, she wasn't there in the room. So he was happy to see all his children.
That's true.
And it was just like, oh God, like the walls, my kids, Fanny. There is like a certain, I'm happy to be home and like with the people who are in my home, like mentality until he sees Yates. And
where's
then that
Zuzu's
goes,
petals?
Exactly. Where's Zuzu's petals?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when he like, now we're talking about It's a Wonderful Life, but when he goes up the stairs and the thing on the banister falls off and he's like, mwah.
That's exactly the vibe. Like,
yeah.
Like,
I like that better than what I said. Yeah. Though I also think what I said probably has some bearing on it.
Well, the other thing I wanted to say is, and I think it connects the two, is that I have a lot of thoughts on how Britishness works in relation to empire and what it means to be British in this time period. And it's, in my opinion, and based on scholarship, I have read a fluid concept. And this is a very deep way to look at this, but I do think Austen is pretty intentional with her use of Fanny as a character in relationship to Sir Thomas. And in this moment, he is back from the Caribbean which is a colony where he is again enslaving people and owning people, but he is British in relationship to those people. At home, Fanny is of Portsmouth. She's of the lower class. She's not of the family. They spend a lot of time at the very beginning of this book making her feel crystal clear she is not a part of this family. In that regard, she is not a part of what makes Britain excellent, in that sort of like pure blooded philosophy of what Britain is in terms of empire. But when you go elsewhere and you come home, Fanny becomes as British as the rest of them. She becomes as much a part of what the British Empire is as the rest of them. She is as much a beneficiary of the empire as the rest of them. So there is something to the way Britain's class structure is set up that Jane Austen is poking at in relationship to how even the lower classes in Britain could find superiority over those in other places that were conquered by the British Empire. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I think that Fanny as a character, and we'll talk about it more as the story goes on, Fanny exists in this story in part to highlight what it is to have an empire, what it is to have colonies, because it raises someone like Fanny from the bottom part of British society to the top part of the global society.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of like, this is what I say when I say like I read this book as a part of a class on Imperial Britain. And this book is Jane Austen, I think, grappling more closely with what Britain is than in any of her other novels.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
So it's I think like there is the practical matter of him being someone who suffered traumatic events, and there is the more philosophical element to Sir Thomas treating Fanny this way, which I think is, in comparison to what he has seen in the places he has been, she is of them.
Yeah.
So
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Cool.
So Angelica asks, in these chapters, Henry Crawford and John Yates both depart Mansfield Park. R.I.P. to our kings, especially John Yates.
Miss Yates.
What do you make of these two departures? Do you think we've seen the last of these two men, or do you think either will return to the story?
Okay. I don't think we've seen the last of them.
Okay.
I think Henry's going to come back married.
Okay.
And I think John Yates is going to come back and propose to Julia. And I think it's going to happen way down the line.
What am I going to do?
Neither confirm nor deny.
I will neither confirm nor deny. Okay.
But in terms of what I make of the two departures, I think that Yates left exactly when he needed to, as the end of Lover's Vows. It's possible we've seen the last of Yates because that felt very final, but I think that it would be nice for Julia to get married.
What a swan song that was.
Yeah.
To the Lover's Vows.
It really was. It was kind of a beautiful ending, and I kind of I think it would be funny if that was the last we saw of him, but I have a feeling we're just going to hear about him again. In terms of Henry Crawford departing, obviously he left at the key moment when he should have, in Mariah's mind, been proposing. So it reeks of him running away from the mess that he's made to me, and him being like, oh shit, she's probably expecting me to propose now because I've led her on too much. Gotta go. That's what I think is happening here.
I would only add that the reason that that's coming to fruition is because her dad's here.
Right. Exactly.
That's the moment of truth. It's the moment when Rushworth is supposed to take center stage.
Mm-hmm.
It's also the moment where any barrier between him being with Mariah would be removed.
Yeah. So like when I read through this, I was like, her dad's home. She's waiting for him to come in and propose because Rushworth is away at Southerton. Of course, this is when he leaves because he knows that now it's time for Rushworth to propose. And I kind of read it as him initially. So before I just said that it was him running away, I originally read it as him stepping aside because he thinks she's engaged to Rushworth. And that was always his plan, was for her to marry Rushworth and him to have some fun in the meantime. So now that she can marry Rushworth, he's going to step aside out of respect for
As an
that dude.
exercise, do you think there's a defensible way to frame what Henry's doing here?
No.
Okay, perfect.
No, do I think that I think that he could defend it to no end. I think that he thinks that he was just having fun. But of course, he has made this girl fall in love with him when she's engaged.
Very
So,
much engaged, fast and loose with the reputation.
yeah. But does that make sense that he is I think that he's stepping aside to let Rushworth marry her and also running away so that he doesn't have any culpability and any feelings that she may have caught?
Yeah, I think that makes total sense. I also think it's like, I mean, for him, and none of this has been that deep. It's very possible to say.
Yeah. He's like, okay, that's over now.
The stakes of it are very low for him.
Yeah, that I think that's what it is that him being like, this was the end of the time that we were gonna have to flirt, and I was only staying here because I liked flirting. Like, that was always the thing.
Mhm.
Like you said, he never lived here. So he stayed because there were pretty girls to flirt with.
So here's a question, and I'm not necessarily looking for you to have the answer yes or no to this. I'm going to posit it to you just as a thought moving forward. Do you think Henry is intentionally making Mariah fall in love with him, or do you think he's just having fun?
I think he's just having fun.
Okay.
Right now.
Okay. I will neither confirm nor deny. That concludes our patron study questions and just a trim set of Becca study questions to end this out. What does the reaction to Sir Thomas's return teach us about his children?
Whew. Teaches different things about each of them. Taught us that Tom, like you said already, doesn't have very good impulse control and doesn't care about the long-term effects of his actions. He only cares if it's going to please him in the moment. And he's not an idiot. He knows what he did. But in the moment, that didn't matter.
He's a bit of an idiot, but yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, sure. But he does know what he did. He's not as clueless as Lady Bertram, for example.
Yeah, and Lady Bertram genuinely doesn't know what's wrong.
Yeah. She also didn't read the play, to be fair, but she didn't seem to care that they built a stage in her husband's room.
To be fair to her, she's got very important things to do. Like
She's got a dog.
Sometimes you just have to spend like a whole day looking at your dog's face.
I get it.
Like, I get it. Man, to have that life.
I would love that. Edmund is a little bit more complicated because he has guilt, right? But he also still wants his dad to think of him he doesn't want his dad to think ill of him. He wants to defend himself and show that he had good reason. He does take responsibility for his actions because he knows that he did something wrong. We talked about this already, but I think that ultimately he does care about his father's opinion of him and the eyes of the Lord, you know. Julia and Mariah, I mean, Mariah's obviously very embarrassed, and Julia has nothing to be embarrassed about. But I think that neither of them hold his opinion in quite so high a regard as Edmund does. I think that they just wanted to party.
Yeah. I think what's clear is that Sir Thomas has very exacting standards for his children.
Mm-hmm.
They all feel these standards.
Mm-hmm.
They all feel their presence. Edmund is the only one attempting to meet them.
Yeah.
The rest of them have said that is too much. I don't want to, and I reject it. And varying levels with his sons, you can see Sir Thomas is enforcing these exacting standards. With his daughter, it's just indulgence.
Yeah, he does not enforce it
at all.
I also think that Edmund is the only one who takes those standards to heart and thinks that they mean something about his character.
And I think there's there's one more person who does take these standards to heart.
Fanny.
But
I was thinking of his children. But
yeah,
yes, Fanny counts.
Correct. And why would you take his standards to heart?
Well, Fanny, for one, he's been her father figure for all these years.
Yes.
Two, she and Edmund are two peas in a pod and think very similarly about the world. And I'm not saying that she's just taking them to heart because he does, because I think that he's a father figure to her, not Edmund, Sir
Yeah.
Thomas. But that like she also takes Edmund's standards to heart, and like what he does, she thinks is the right thing usually.
And I would say 2 things. One, we haven't really touched on whether or not his standards are worth adhering to, which is a separate question entirely, and just worth thinking about. And 2, once again, Fanny sees herself as conditionally allowed in this house.
Oh yeah. Right.
So she
That makes
feels
sense.
like she has to adhere to these standards because while his children take for granted that they get to be the people who live in Mansfield Park for like the end of time, she thinks of herself as someone who only is allowed to be there by the grace of this man.
Yeah, you guys, this is a hard book.
It's a very complex book. That's why our patrons and our listeners are yapping, because it's like, I remember as we are now 20 chapters in this book, I remember saying to you, it's not going to be like other Jane Austen novels we've read. And I urge you to keep an open mind because it's very different.
Mm-hmm.
And part of it is these like grappling with these questions of like, Sir Thomas's children are like held to this crazy standard that he set for them, this set of rules. Jane Austen isn't clear whether she thinks those rules are actually worth following. And they're all failing at it except Fanny and Edmund to a degree.
And what's weird is normally we would want to follow and like we would root for the characters that weren't following the strict rules, because that's what we've been like, that's the kind of like main character energy that we've been loving for all of our lives.
Emma and Lizzie Bennet
Exactly.
and Marianne Dashwood, they're all rule breakers.
So like I feel like I'm not conditioned to root for Fanny.
She's more in line with Eleanor and Anne, but even more so because Anne and Eleanor have their headstrong moments. They have their moments of strength and rebellion.
Mm-hmm.
And Fanny, we have not yet seen that from her.
Yeah.
At this point in the story. Yeah, there's a lot to chew on with this.
Yeah.
But I encourage, yes, think about the relationship that these children bear to their father's desires for how they should act and the value of his desire in the first place. Because, like I said, Jane Austen, she's written a lot of books. She's telling us a lot about the world she's thinking about. And I don't necessarily think she's endorsing Sir Thomas and his worldview just because she's writing about it in this way.
Right.
Yeah. R.I.P. to Lovers' Vows.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Like, I feel like we need like a swan song, Graham. So if you have like music to like send like Lovers' Vows onto the funeral pyre. It has been with us since chapter 13 of this book, I believe.
Yeah.
Chapter 13.
I don't know.
Our listeners can correct me if I'm wrong here. I didn't do the math ahead of time, but it's been multiple chapters in a row. We have been covering this in the span of our podcast for, I think, months now.
Yeah.
Why did Jane Austen put a giant theater kid interlude in the middle of her book, and what can you learn from it?
Gosh. Looking back on it, what a time. What a time that we have gone through. It taught us a lot about the standards that these people are living under, and like the societal norms. It taught us a lot about their interpersonal relationships, because it brought to light like all of the things they wanted to do but weren't allowed to do when they were being themselves.
Like any good high school theater production.
Exactly. Like they're touching, they're rehearsing in private, they're touching some more. It really kind of just threw everybody's place into like a stark light. Like Fanny was doing everything for everyone else, and Mariah was getting exactly what she wanted, and Henry was flirting up a storm and still trying to like make Julia think that she meant something by being like, oh, but you can have this part. It's the hardest part in the whole play.
I don't want it.
Julia was, she said, Julia had her moment. Like it really just showed us who everyone is at their core by them pretending to be other people, which is really fun.
I think that's exactly right. I would also say it gives us a lot of insight into everybody's relationship to temptation, to desire, and to their own morals. Because I think one of the more memorable parts of this interlude is the moment where Fanny refuses to partake.
Yes.
Which no one else successfully does.
Yeah. Not even Edmund.
Not even Edmund.
Shows us where his morals stop.
Yeah, it shows us the balance of desire and temptation versus his capacity to resist.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Hmm.
The party is starting to break up a little bit. We got Henry leaving and we got Yates leaving. I think that Angelica touched on this already, but what do you think is next for the book?
Oh man.
Play's not happening. Henry Crawford's gone. What do we do next now?
Oh gosh. Like, well, Mary's still there. Mary Crawford is still there. So now I feel like we'll probably focus more on Mary and Edmund, and what Fanny feels about that,
Mm-hmm.
and how will their flirtation continue now that they don't have a scene to play together.
Mm-hmm.
I think that will probably, like, now that Mariah and Julia don't have Henry to fight over or to like hold over each other's heads anymore, we'll have to see them like either work out their problems or fight over something else.
Hmm.
Whether that's another man or like Mariah has to get married to Mr. Rushworth, and I don't want her to be unhappy, but that is probably going to happen at this point, but I don't know. Yeah, I think so. We're going to focus on Mariah and Mr. Rushworth. We're going to focus on Edmund and Mary Crawford and Fanny, obviously. And I wonder if we'll meet new characters. That might be kind of crazy to introduce new characters at this point, but
Wouldn't be the first time Jane Austen's done something like that.
that's true. So it would be interesting to see if we throw in another person into the mix.
Hmm.
But I feel like we've already thrown in new people, so I'm curious if we can get people talking to each other rather than viewing them all through an external party. But we're not even halfway through the book.
We're about a third of the way through the book.
Yeah, so there is still a lot more to happen. So actually, we probably will meet new characters.
Funniest quote?
Oh my god.
I mean, honestly, just everything that happens between Mr. Yates and Sir Thomas qualifies.
So, Sir Thomas has just said that oh, the stage does my friend Christopher Jackson credit. And then he would have changed the subject and sipped his coffee in peace over domestic matters of a calmer hue. But Mr. Yates, without discernment to catch Sir Thomas's meaning, or diffidence, or delicacy, or discretion enough to allow him to lead the discourse while he mingled among the others with the least obtrusiveness himself, would keep him on the topic of the theater, would torment him with questions and remarks relative to it, and finally would make him hear the whole history of his disappointment at Ecclesford.
Perfect. No notes.
He can't catch a hint.
Spectacular moment of this book. Questions moving forward?
Well, now that the play is not happening, what will the young people do to entertain themselves?
Really good question.
Is Tom going to stick around or is Tom going to leave again? Will Rushworth and Mariah actually get married? Because I guess there's still a possibility of that being broken off, but I feel like now there's no reason to. And will Yates come back for Julia?
Who wins the chapters?
Yates.
Definitely Yates. No question.
Yeah.
I mean, the level of aggravation to inspire in a man in his own home, fresh off a boat from the Caribbean.
Whew.
Gotta hand it to him.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
he did good.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
No notes. Listeners, that concludes this episode of Pod and Prejudice. For next time, we will be reading the next 2 chapters of this book, which are chapters 21 and 22. Or if you're reading a volumed version, volume the second, chapters 3 and 4. Molly, are you ready for that?
I am so excited.
Well, until next time, stay proper.
And go burn a copy of your favorite play.
Or the play that your children are putting on without your permission.
Go burn a copy of your children's favorite play.
Yeah.
Pod and Prejudice is edited by Molly Burdick and audio produced by Graham Cook. Our show art is designed by Torrance Brown. Our show is transcribed by SpeechDocs Podcast Transcription. For transcripts and to learn more about our team, check out our website at podandprejudice.com. To keep up with the show, you can follow us on social media at Pod and Prejudice. If you love what you hear, check out our Patreon to see how you can support us, buy some merch at podandprejudice.dashery.com, or just drop us a rating and a review wherever you get your podcasts. Stay proper.